Welcome to Hedgehog's Hungry Hodgepodge. It's the fourth Saturday of this month, and that means it's dessert week. This month we're going to be making Orange Pecan Rolls. Recently, I discovered a hidden store of my great-grandmother's old recipes that I'm very excited to share with you, starting with this one. Let's get started. Alright, the first thing we did is we preheated our oven to 375 Fahrenheit, and now we're going to whisk together our dry ingredients, starting with 2 cups of flour. So you add the 2 cups of flour to a big bowl. You add a 1/4 cup of sugar, 3 teaspoons baking powder, and a teaspoon of salt. And you whisk it all together until it's combined, which that doesn't honestly take too long to do for obvious reasons. Next, we're going to be adding butter to it, and this time you're going to need an electric mixer. If you have one of those standing ones, use that. That's cool. In the meantime, I'm going to use this because this is what I have, and we're going to take a 1/4 cup of butter, otherwise known as half a stick of butter, and we're going to beat it into our dry mixture. So you just get that right on in there. Make sure your mixer's plugged in. You're going to want the butter to be slightly softened so that it mixes properly with the dry ingredients, and you're just going to mix it in until it's just incorporated. You don't want to mix it too much because otherwise it adds too much air to the flour. You're going to mix it on high. Next, we're going to be adding our wet ingredients to our dry ingredients. We'll be adding 1 egg, half a cup of orange juice. You can use fresh squeeze, but since this is my great-grandmother's recipe, I kind of assumed this is the way she would have done it. And lastly, half a cup of orange marmalade. And we're gonna beat that on medium-low until it's incorporated. Next, you're gonna add about a half a cup of roughly chopped pecans, and you're just gonna fold it in gently until it's mixed in properly. Gorgeous. Alright, next we're going to be taking the dough, and we're going to be taking an ice cream scoop, and we're going to be laying it out on an already greased baking sheet. Make sure they're spread out because they're going to grow. Okay, we're going to slide them on into our oven. Bake for 20 to 25 minutes. While we're letting that bake, we're going to be making a sweet topping for them when they come out of the oven. I'm going to be adding a 1/4 cup of sugar, three tablespoons of flour, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and half a teaspoon of nutmeg. And you just let that combine. Once the rolls have cooked through and you've let them cool for about 5 minutes, we're gonna add our lovely topping to it. So we've put our roll on a plate and we're gonna take some melted butter. I did about a tablespoon of it. I'm gonna brush the top of the roll. And then crumble the topping on it. Yeah. And make sure it crumbles, because it does clump. So crumble it and then make sure it sticks to the butter. Yum. Oh, it smells so good. It's so bright. This would be like the perfect thing to have for like a little tea party. Like these could be the crumpets and then you could make some tea. Little cucumber sandwiches. It's so fluffy. It's so fluffy. Name that movie. The thing about this is it looks like a cookie, but it can't be classified as a cookie. It's not crunchy and it's not chewy. It's very, very light. It's almost like a pancake, but denser. It's really hard to describe. It's probably why they're called Orange Pecan Rolls. Because it's better defined as a shape as opposed to an entity. All my recipes can be found at www.hedgehogshungryhodgepodge.com. You can leave comments and suggestions there right here on YouTube. I'd love to hear what you think. I'll see you guys next week for another episode of Hedgehog's Hungry Hodgepodge. Bye!